Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. I'm giving my fair and honest review of episode 3 of Batwoman on the CW, that is. This one started jumping into a story that just feels too predictable. Batwoman started out strong. Its second episode was actually better than its first. The problem is, I knew where it was going. It seems that there is going to be a rehashing of a love triangle, basically, between Kate, her former flame, and her former flame. Well, her former flame basically told her to move on and whatnot, so she did, and now she's basically having regrets and thoughts and yada yada. It's like, oh my gosh, that's just too convoluted. As for the story, basically, Beth and Kate are still going at it, where she's basically telling her, if you're really my sister, stop killing for 24 hours. Prove that you're still back. And whatnot. And she doesn't do it. And this is where Batwoman finally gets into her outfit with the red bat and the wig and all. And this is basically where she comes into her own. She still maintains her contact with Bruce. She's basically saying, I did not come here to replace you, and I didn't want to. Well, if that was the case, why did you have the suit altered, Kate? This is a contradictory episode, basically. It contradicts everything that she has done. She didn't want to give the city hope. She didn't want them to think Batman was back. They still haven't dropped the damn line of, everybody thinks he's back, I'm not going to let a man take credit for a woman's work. I'm guessing that was cut out because they didn't want that kind of message being sent. Because they realized that they had caused a huge division of the Arrowverse fans. But they had already done that damage when Supergirl went political, Arrow went SJW, and the Flash went SJW. They did that when Legends of Tomorrow went full way off the rails and just took a story dive into the demonic and not time. This show, it's still grounded, but it's got heart. I will be fair, people. Batwoman has heart. I'm not saying it's good, but I am saying that it's got heart. It wants to be good, but it's falling short because of the cringe moments and the identity politics narrative. Now, I am not taking as much away from the score because of the identity politics, mainly because part of Kate Kane's story is she is a lesbian. So that's established in the comics. She's a lesbian. So we're going to overlook the fact that she's a lesbian. It's the other stuff. The third wave feminism. Like, the misogyny. They literally take a jab at misogyny in this. And yes, overt misogyny is shitty. Believe it or not, folks, yeah, overt misogyny is shitty. Now, there's a difference between misogyny and masculinity. Masculinity, they're cucking all the men in this frickin' show. And it's just not right. You're making all the men out to be inept and idiotic. They made that mistake with the 2016 Ghostbusters. All the men in that film were portrayed as assholes, idiots, or both. And so, they're basically doing the same damn thing in this show. And that's why it is suffering. There is no balance. There's no even playing field. It's not fitting that you're building up a woman, but you're cutting down the men so she has the stepping stones. That's not a right way to build a character up. You have to have them build themselves up on their own without overtly taking jabs at another gender or race or whatever. Look, we already understand she's a lesbian. And yes, she's going to be in lesbian relationships. That's fine. We get that. But do you have to do slights at people just because they're men? You're automatically claiming they're misogynists. It's just, there was no reason to suggest that the Tommy guy that ended up being the villain in this one was was a misogynist simply because he was rich. I mean, they make fun of rich people in this thing. I don't know what to make of that yet. But if it does continue and they do mention a certain figure, I will know exactly what they are basically saying. Anywho, for objective score on Batwoman, episode 3, I will say that it is a solid 3 because this time the story contradicted itself. The writing was contradictory, and it just wasn't really that well done this time. I mean, sure, her outfit as female Batman, or as Batwoman, with the hair and stuff, that looks fine. But even then, they showed a mistake on that as well, because if you look at one of the boot, you see a little bit of spray paint that wasn't supposed to be there, so it's like, you guys gotta fix your props, man. You got the chest emblem that's red, and you got the hair that's red. I don't think she made her boots red, and it was just a little smidge of paint. So, yeah, you kind of screwed up there. Also, she's almost freaking shot herself in the foot, basically saying that the whole woman thing, we get you're a woman, we get Bruce Wayne's a man, don't start ragging on your cousin simply because he's not there. I mean, yeah, we get it, Kate. He's not there. Batman left for still unknown reasons. But do not frickin' start ragging on your cousin. It's good that you still care about your cousin and whatnot, but don't go down the route of you're going to start hating on your cousin or whatnot just because he's not there anymore in Gotham. Subjectively, I will give it a 3 out of 5. The misogyny line just because the dude's rich, it's ridiculous. You come on, people. You didn't need to put that crap in there. This would have gotten an actual 4 out of 5 if that one line was not in there. But you're also pushing the identity cringe moments here and there. You made the story predictable. And so subjectively, I am giving you a 3 out of 5. And chances are that's mostly going to be the next few episodes as well, because if you are predictable, you suffer in my subjective score. If you have identity politics, you suffer in the subjective score. Showgoer, I will give it a 4 out of 5 for the Arrowverse. Or Arrowverse goer, so to speak. So, yeah. 4 out of 5 for Showgoer. Anyway, folks, that's the review. I'm going to be honest in my reviews. The marketing ruined the show for itself. People judged it harshly on the marketing, and that's all they see now is the, identity politics and crap for when they give their reviews. I am doing my best to give it an honest review. And I will continue to give it an honest review because I like to remain objective when it comes to shows. I am not defending the show at all. I am giving it an honest review because I believe that that is what is needed nowadays. The show is not as SJW nonsense as its own marketing. Excuse me, as its own marketing made it out to be. Anyway, folks, yes, that is the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. If you are following the Arrowverse, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think that this show is getting progressively worse as I fear it is? Or do you think that it is still good and has some good points? Yes, there are some good points in my opinion, but it is getting worse. Anyway, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Catch y'all on the next one.